Well, hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to another Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm also the founder and lead investigator with Deep Woods Paranormal, along with my wife, Amanda. We explore everything paranormal, be it ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, cryptids, lake monsters, river monsters, strange lights, just anything that could be possibly paranormal in nature. So, this is the Bigfoot Only podcast. On this podcast, we try and only talk about Bigfoots. If you just listen to my last podcast, I am going to be basically doing a little bit of housekeeping just because we have, number one, so many new followers. And thank you to everybody who's following us. If you can do me a favor, if you're on our YouTube channel, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. If you're also listening on our audio, if you can also subscribe or like the video, like the audio, whatever it is, podcast, we appreciate it. And if you can also share it on your social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you have, it really helps us. It's really helping us grow our fan base and get our name out there and stuff like that. And as we go, we're just getting better and better at this and really enjoy doing this with you guys. So let me share my screen. And we will go back to where it was. Okay. Well, I guess not. All right. So this is not the page I wanted to open up, but this is our paranormal podcast. You can see we have 116 of them now. 115. I don't know. I've lost track. All right. So let's get to the thing I really wanted to get to. I was doing this on the last podcast. I was explaining this. But again, I've had so many people ask me, what is this? How do I do this? And how does this work? Okay. So essentially you can buy us a coffee. Coffee ranges around $3 a cup. So basically what we're doing is if you click on the link, everything I'm going to talk about, the links are all down below. Our website, our podcast, everything has its own kind of website. Everything I'm going to talk about except for the cameras and stuff like that. You'll understand. Anyways, I'm going to talk about all that. But the links to anything I talk about or show you guys online will basically be on our below. So you guys can go through and do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Okay. So everything I talk about on this channel, I always say you have to have your own encounter where you can say it could, has to be blah. Let me try this again. I am stumbling and bumbling this weekend over words. Anyways, so I always say you have to have an encounter where you can say it can't be anything else but. And in this case, we're going to put Bigfoot in there. But it could be a ghost. It could be a UFO. It could be a haunted house. It could be whatever. You put your own whatever in there. Okay, so let's get back to this real quick. So buy us a coffee. You can buy us one coffee. You can buy us 3 coffees. You can buy us 5. You can put in your own number. Our goal is to reach $2,000, hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully by summer. Essentially, you can buy us as many as you want, and it just basically donates to us. And our goal is to buy a much higher grade video camera so that when we have somebody following us around, we're going to have better quality video. So it's not pixelated. There's no question. Okay, yeah, I see that too. And then better quality audio as well. We've been trying to upgrade our audio and our video cameras for a long time now. And I think, let me just share these with you. These are definitely upgrades. We have a camera kind of like this. It sees in low light, which is great. Much better picture than the little handy cams we've been carrying around. But it's kind of a less expensive camera. It wasn't cheap. It was about $500, so it wasn't cheap. But these cameras just do so much more. They have so many more functions. We can adjust the lighting. We can adjust the sound. We can do all kinds of cool things with these and bring you a better quality video. Everything you see on our channel, YouTube channel, or here on the podcast is basically 100% real. We don't fake anything. We're, Amanda and I, and anybody with us that is allowed to come with us, whether we have a guest investigator or another team that comes with us or whatever, we want to make sure that all of our evidence that we produce is genuine. And the best way to do it is to have really good audio and really good video. We have really good audio already, but we'd like to improve our video quality. So we're going to continue to make changes. We're going to continue to do things differently now that we're a production company. We're trying to get this going. We're trying to set up a network of different things. We do have another channel. It's the Deep Woods production channel. On there, there's not just the paranormal stuff, but there's other things as well. Reality shows and stuff like that. We're trying to set all that up. Anyways, let me get back into this. This is what that $2,000 will help us buy. This is the Sony HXR NX100 HD NX cam. It's around $3,000. Essentially, it's just a really high-end camera. It's a very professional camera. Let me get to the next one. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these guys. If you want to come look at these, I'm just using the Walmart link up here basically just to show you guys what we're looking at. We're looking at the Panasonic HC-X1500 4K Pro camcorder. Again, we like shooting in 4K, especially at night, because it does make a little bit of a difference. Not much. When you're shooting in IR, everything's going to be green anyways, or grayish, and that's what you guys see. So, because everybody shoots ghosts and Bigfoot and everything in the dark. So, I mean, if you have if you're out in the forest and you have a bright light on, chances of seeing Bigfoot are probably slim to none unless you've pinned them down somewhere, and then I don't see that happening. But you never know. Anyways, and the last one we're looking at is a Canon XA45 professional UHD 4K camera. Now, if you guys are using if you're another team, or you're in you work for in productions, or you just do your own video or whatever, you have another camera you suggest that would be good for us right around this price range. We're trying to stay within right around the $1,400 to just under $3,000 price range. So basically, we're looking at the Canon, we're looking at the Panasonic, and the Sony being the most expensive. And anyways, so like I said, we're always constantly trying to upgrade our gear. I showed this earlier, but I'll go back over this really quick. We just got a Tesla coil, and it's basically just a small coil. I think it only stands like 6 inches tall or something like that. You've seen them on the ghost hunting shows. I've heard good reviews about these. We use EM pumps all over when we're out ghost hunting. And I'm sorry, this is a little veer off from the Bigfoot, so just bear with me real quick. But essentially, this shoots out with currents. You can actually reach out and touch it, and it doesn't hurt you. But it does produce energy. And the theory is that essentially the ghost can use that to manifest in whatever way. And by manifest, I mean they can show themselves, they can manipulate themselves on the camera and show themselves on the camera. Maybe they can move something. Maybe they can come through on an EVP, which is just basically us recording an audio recording, asking questions and listening back later and finding something there that we didn't hear at the time. Or they might manipulate the spirit box, or this next thing we have. So I've been wanting one of these things forever. This is a ghost box portal. It's the all-in-one 2023. This gentleman is in England, and essentially he produces these. I've heard a lot of good things about them. We're going to try it out and see what we think. If we like it, then we'll use it. If we're not, we might just either put it up in the paranormal closet behind me, the gear closet behind me, or it may get sold. So anyways, we're not going to keep going on this. What I'm going to show you guys today is just different video. This is from Animal Planet. This is on YouTube. These are all YouTube videos. You guys can go check these out. I'll leave the link down below so that people get credit for this. Now, again, I say this again, you guys, we're just reviewing other people's videos. These are not our videos. We're just looking at them with you and just checking them out. I will describe them as best I can so that people listening audio-wise can understand this. Maybe you want to come back and watch our YouTube video of this. This will probably be up either late tonight or early tomorrow morning, depending on how long it takes to download this video and edit it real quick. So, again, take this with a grain of salt. I don't expect anybody to believe anything you see unless you choose to. You have to make up your own mind as to what you think this is. Is it a Bigfoot? Is it not? Is it something else? Is it just a branch? I don't know. You guys, I'm being way out there, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands that we're just reviewing other people's stuff on this podcast right now. In the future, I hope to have evidence for us to go back through. Maybe we'll go back through some of the stuff we saw at Joe's. Maybe we'll go through and talk about our experiences from Joe's and other places we've been. We've been all over the place in Texas looking for these things. Joe's has been, of course, the best place. Right around Joe's camp has been the best place that we've had to do research. So let's let him talk. Let's listen to him. I hope you guys can hear him. If not, I apologize.
After several seasons of the series, I have to say, I've started to reconsider. I am going to show you some of the strongest evidence we've come across since we started the series. This footage is...
Okay, I'm going to cut him off for just a second. This is from the Animal Planet show, Finding Bigfoot. He's just basically going over evidence that they possibly caught while filming the show. And basically, I'm just going to let you guys listen, and I'll give you my opinion and kind of give you the 411 as we go. This is their video from New York. This is of the baby Bigfoot, I believe, that was swinging in the tree, and he's going to show it and possibly talk about it. So let's listen to him.
Very famous in the Bigfoot world. It allegedly shows a baby Bigfoot swinging from a tree. What amazed me when I first saw this footage, that it is only 100 miles from New York City, where I live. I mean, I never thought there were Bigfoots in my neighborhood. That's it. That's it. If you look at him close, there's actually a large figure walking. And then this creature jumps off the larger one and starts playing in the tree. Some of the team believes that this is a baby Bigfoot jumping off its mother's back. Our resident skeptic, Renee, of course doesn't think it's a baby Bigfoot. She says it's a gibbon. A gibbon is a monkey from Southeastern Asia, not upstate New York. So could that thing swinging in the tree be somebody's pet? I guess so, but if somebody had a pet gibbon, do you let it just jump up in the trees and play all day? There's lots of woods around New York City. There's lots of Bigfoot sightings. I'm saying this could be a baby. This video is from...
Okay, so we'll let him continue to describe this. This is a video where basically this is a police cam video. I remember this video very, very well. As they're driving up the road real late at night here, it looks like it's about 8:30 at night. It's pretty dark. I drive on similar roads for work. And so this was taken 5/15, looks like 2009. It's an older video, and it kind of gives you the coordinates, so you can, if you want to look them up, you can. But it shows basically a Bigfoot run across the road, and these guys, try to reproduce it and couldn't. So here, let's listen to them.
Cam in a police car. They're driving down the road, just having a normal conversation. When you see on the right side here, some creature comes out and runs across the road. If Bigfoots are so stealthy, why would it run in front of a car? Why not wait till it passes and then run out? Are they like deer and get scared by headlights? Then I said to him, "You've got, shh, here it comes, watch this, watch this. Hey, Bigfoot, hey, how you doing?" "Hey guys, not much, just started coming." Okay, it works every time. I'm on the fence on this one.
Okay, so they're pretty much playing a joke. They have a guy in a costume, and he basically shined a flashlight in his eyes. That's what that was about, if you're listening to that. So I mean, this show it's kind of a quirky show. Really like the people on it. I've actually met Matt and Bobo. They're very honest, very forthcoming, and they're very real. They're not going to tell you, they're going to debunk things faster than you can, say, "Oh my gosh." But anyways, so let's keep listening to them.
I guess it could be a hoax, but then was the cop in on it, or the guy just happened to run in front of a car with a camera?
So police officers are, some of the best. They're some of the best witnesses out there. I mean, they're trained to basically observe and report. So, I mean, and they have to testify in a court of law about what they saw all the time. So yeah, they are good witnesses. They're very credible. Would a police officer fake something like that? They could. I seriously doubt it, but they could. So let's keep going here.
Clip is from our first season. You can see this creature crawling on its belly and then reaching out to grab what we find out is a candy bar. Apparently, Bigfoots love candy bars.
So let's talk about that. Um, I've heard that Bigfoots have a sweet tooth. If you remember me talking about David, he's basically a witness, also a fellow researcher. He lives up by Joe, and he used to take offerings across his road, like a single lane road, into the forest right across from his house. And he used to give them peanut butter jelly sandwiches, Oreos, Chips Ahoy's, grapes, and I can't remember what the apples, sliced apples, not a full apple, sliced apples. And he's actually seen them eating it, which was cool. So what he told me was he's been doing that for years. He thinks that they just have a sweet tooth, especially when they're younger. They will come into camps and stuff like that because they're curious and they know that we have food. I guess that was an offering that gentleman left, and that was actually a thermal camera. Basically, he was watching. He left the thermal camera out all night and basically went to bed, I believe, is the story. You guys go back and watch this show. But essentially, the Bigfoot supposedly they do crawl on their tummies. They do the whole Marine crawl. I mean, the military crawl. They do fours. They are on two legs too. Crawls up and basically steals a candy bar from this tree stump, and he gets caught on video. So, anyways, I'm gonna kind of sit there and listen to them talk about that. Okay, so let's go on to the next one and see what he has. This is the last one he has to talk about.
One skeptic in the group, Renee.
Let's bust out some scale because I don't see any reason why that couldn't be a person. First of all, the footage is a little blurry. And most things that are out of focus usually look a little bigger.
Look, I would love to believe this is a Bigfoot. It's so cool that it's eating candy bars. But I'm with Renee on this one. I can't make a determination with blurry footage. Why did?
So by blurry photos, I mean it's a thermal camera, guys. If you've ever seen thermal image, unless you're in the military or you get some kind of help from these companies, or you have 30-40 grand to spend on these high-end thermal cameras, the lower end thermal cameras that you and I and whoever else can buy for 500 all the way up to like $10,000, they're not as good quality. The military has crystal clear thermal. I mean, their technology is insane. Would love to work with somebody. If you have thermal like that, I would love to work with you, take you out in the forest and see what we can find. If you have a thermal drone, love to take you out into the forest when we're having an experience, have you launch it, see what you can see. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, that's not really an image. It's actually more of a heat signature is what you're looking at on there. And they are a little distorted. I don't think that thermal is the only way to get a Bigfoot on, proof of Bigfoot. I think there's other ways to get proof. Hair samples, DNA samples, footprints, castings, getting one on video if you can, or multiple videos, which we have. We have hair samples, we have footprints, samples, castings, if you will. We have most of that. Our team has most of that. But it's that elusive body that everybody keeps talking about. Well, why don't you just shoot one? I don't know. I've talked to many hunters that have had them in their sights and just said, they look too human. They just couldn't pull the trigger. So, again, with these, you have to pretty much make up your own mind. Make your own judgment. Go back and watch this show. If you've never seen the show, it's a pretty cool show if you're into Bigfoot. go back and watch Finding Bigfoot on YouTube, or I think they're still on Netflix or Hulu or something. You can do a search for them. Sometimes you can find them on the full version on YouTube and stuff like that. So just a cool show. But let's finish up here and see what he has to say.
I'm not convinced this is a Bigfoot. I mean, it's too blurry, but
Okay, we're going to move on because he's not going to talk about anything else. All right, so that's the Finding Bigfoot evidence. All right, so here's another video. This is it says a Hickory man says he has video of Bigfoot. So let's take a look at this one. Again, guys, the links will be down below. You can come watch this. If you're listening on the podcast, you can essentially come over here to the YouTube channel, click on the link below, or you can go to our website. Our website's like one-stop shopping. Our podcasts there, our YouTube videos are there, and other things are there for you guys to enjoy. We're going to be doing a Bigfoot expedition. I'm still working on dates. I'm coordinating with several people on dates and stuff like that. So just been upgrading my camping gear. I've got some lightweight camping gear. I'm going to be walking into some places that are more remote and seeing what I can experience either with Amanda or without Amanda or with some other people, whoever wants to go, just to see if we can have an experience. So I've talked about that a lot lately, but we're going to keep going with this. I'm going to play this video and we'll see.
Social media is buzzing.
So this basically is on a news channel on YouTube. Essentially, somebody, I guess, screenshotted it or something and put it on their YouTube channel. And we're just going to listen to this.
Man says he captured something amazing on his cell phone camera video of Bigfoot.
Yeah, he recorded this video in McDowell County where several people reported seeing the creature over the years. NBC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner spoke to the man who described his experience.
Despite the signs outside his Hickory home, Doug Teague and Crazy Daisy strayed away from the wooded trails in McDowell County. He was grabbing some cameras he had set up, hoping they recorded images of a longtime fascination, Bigfoot. As he was walking back to his truck,
then a rock was through. She chased it. I just kind of stopped, took the phone out, gazed the hill, kept looking. He's still up there.
Not just one, he says 3 different Bigfoots stared at him from the hill. This is just a snippet of 10 minutes of video Teague says he recorded.
Oh, yeah, it moves.
Just describe to me that moment.
Oh, wow.
Like a giddy school kid. Just nervous, heart beating.
Okay, so let's go back to that video real quick. Right here. All right. So I don't see the other 3 Bigfoots, but I see the one. I can see the head and I can see the shoulders. This is moving. So, and it doesn't look like a branch. It doesn't look like anything else. It looks like it's either a person in a suit or it's a possible Bigfoot. Or there's some other explanation. Maybe it's some other animal that I'm not seeing what it is, but this thing literally moved to the right and then ducked down while he was filming it. And that's typical Bigfoot. It's basically, I got seen. Let me duck or move over behind that tree or whatever I can do to basically conceal myself. But that's typical. I mean, the first Bigfoot I ever saw was throwing rocks at us until we basically turned and gave it the attention that we wanted, I guess. I still am trying to figure out what exactly happened with that 15, 16 years later. I'm still trying to figure it out. Anyways, so essentially he's looking up the hill on his property through the woods. And again, I mean, some of these woods are really thick. And he's a Bigfoot enthusiast. If you watch the first part of this video, he's got Bigfoot everywhere. So again, as Renee from Finding Bigfoot used to say, they've got Bigfoot on the brain. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but you have to be really careful when you present any kind of Bigfoot evidence. That's why we don't present a lot of evidence. We get stuff where we're like, okay, that could be, and that's just not good enough. We've presented a lot of evidence over the years. But if you guys want to go back and watch Joe's camp, I think that's some of the best footage we've ever had. Besides the trail cam video I put up a long time ago and then got removed from YouTube because of it. My channel got banned and all that stuff. It was just ridiculous. Anyways, so yeah, this thing, let me show you. Let me go back just a tad. So let's go back so you can see it's here. Let me play this video.
Like a giddy school kid.
Okay, let me go back further than that. Because you can actually see it move. Okay. So if you're watching the YouTube channel, it's basically in the top right corner up here, this black thing. This possibly could be the head. And again, take all this with a grain of salt, guys. I'm just analyzing the video. You have to come to your own conclusions. Okay. So here's the head.
He says 3 different Bigfoot stared at him.
So essentially they highlighted the one in the middle. Supposedly there's other Bigfoots in the picture. I don't see them.
And from the hill.
Oh, you know what though? Let me go back to this footage. When they move the camera, hold on a second.
One, he says 3 different Bigfoot stared at him.
Right there. Okay, so if you look on the right over here, right next to this tree, there's a tree here, and that looks to me kind of like fur, and that looks like it's part of a body, if you will. Now they're showing you the one to the right of the one that's in the middle of the screen. They've kind of panned to the right. There looks like there could be something here. And again, this is what we call blob squatch. This is not proof of Bigfoot. There just looks like there could be something there. This would need further review. We need to zoom in on this, maybe see if we can remove the trees somehow and see if this is an actual figure or if it's just something else. It'd be nice to have pictures of where he shot this without the Bigfoots, so we could go through and eliminate things like, oh, this is just a rock, or this is just a this and that, or it's a part of a tree, or it's part of a tree trunk, or whatever. Okay, well, let's keep watching this.
This is just
okay. So here you kind of see what looks like a head, some shoulders. Bigfoots don't really have necks, but you kind of see what looks like. Again, take this all with a grain of salt. This kind of looks like a face, and then you kind of have a body here, and it looks like it's peering through the woods at him. I don't know if he has his camera zoomed all the way in or this is zoomed out like normal. I don't know what the settings on the camera were. So we're just kind of dealing with what we have, if you will. We're kind of analyzing it for what it is, and it's just kind of interesting. I can't call that a Bigfoot, but it's interesting that it ducks to the right. And so that's very interesting to me. Let's watch
the video. Teague says he recorded.
See, it just moved.
Describes me that moment.
See it move? Now it moved down. Now this white area right here, if you're watching the video inside their kind of egg-shaped circle, looks like light coming through the tree. So it's distorted the picture a little bit, but you can see the black part never changes. You can still kind of see the head. You can see a shoulder looks like, and then the start of an arm, and then the other part of the shoulder, and maybe a chest. I don't know. And then down here, you see the darker area could be the lower body. Again, this is all just, me just basically reviewing the video and trying to determine what I think. You guys have to make your own opinion on this.
Emotionally, just
like a giddy school kid. Just nervous, heart beating. It was crazy.
He's a member of the Catawba Valley Bigfoot Research Club. McDowell County is considered a hot.
Okay. This is a better video. Here, you can actually see what looks like a head, a nose, some eyes. Can't make out any other features. It's a hairy head. Either it's a person in a mask or it's a head. And then you kind of see what looks like a shoulder here. You can't make out the rest on the right side. The left side, you can kind of see the neck coming down to a shoulder. You kind of see the chest. And then you see some darker areas in through the trees. The trees are basically like a mess, but you can see through them. They're just like, there's no leaves on these trees. They're like vines. They're crisscrossed every which way. And so you kind of see what looks like something. Again, I cannot say this is a Bigfoot, but it's very interesting to me. Let's keep going.
For these sightings, though the path leading to
Okay, so whatever it was just moved its head down a little tiny bit. And now you can kind of see the torso a little bit better. You can see what looks like light shining off the fur. But if you look up here, this looks more like a human head. This looks like hair up here. You kind of see an ear, a forehead, eyebrow, and the nose. It's like a side profile. If you're just looking at me from the left, maybe from the left side, that's what it looks like. It looks like somebody maybe turned sideways with maybe some kind of shiny jacket on. Now that I look at this, I kind of see like a person's face. That's not Bigfoot. Let's see
larger than
what
life creature often goes
okay, so that's the problem with matrixing. I took basically this thing just moved again. What looks like its head was kind of behind with the hair. And now that I'm looking at this, the tree branch has like a dark spot that goes across that looks like hair, and then it has a light spot that looks like an ear, and then this oval shape, because of the lighting, it looks like a face, but it's actually standing behind that tree, that branch, excuse me. So now that I look at this more, again, I see more hair. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure what this is. I'd have to actually go to where he shot this and maybe shoot my own image and see what I see.
Scientists say there's a logical reason for this. There's no evidence Bigfoot exists. Teague disagrees.
They're real. They're there.
As does Vicky Cook.
Was it went in front of my camera?
Earlier this summer, she shared this grainy video taken outside her Cleveland County home.
Screamed. I didn't know what it was, but that thing was tall.
With big feet to boot, both Cook and Teague took casts of the creature's feet.
There's probably a lot more evidence than people realize.
Some will scoff, but others, like Cook, Teague, and even his granddaughter,
He's moving, he's moving, he's moving.
believe. In Catawba County, I'm Brandon Goldner, and
All right. So what he just said was very interesting. There probably is a lot more proof out there. But the problem is that there's so many groups now researching it and collecting all this evidence, but science doesn't get to see all that evidence. Science only sees this is and that's. And most of the time, honestly, I think they turn a blind eye to what evidence we catch, because we're not technically scientists. We're not, real researchers, as they call us. We're just enthusiasts. Our evidence is not real. So, and that's a real problem. There are scientists out there like Dr. Melbourne and other scientists, DNA scientists and stuff, that are really interested in what we're finding, and they're helping us, which we really appreciate. But a lot of scientists just downplay this, and honestly, I think the GOV has something to do with it. They don't want us to know that they exist. That's why they basically keep you out of certain areas of the forest and stuff like that. And basically anything that's ever been collected that's too strong of evidence has always been confiscated or disappeared. People have been threatened. People that have actually possibly shot a Bigfoot and try and report it have been hushed, and the bodies are taken, and whatever. But that's a different rabbit hole. We can go down that later. But anyways, like I said, you guys have to form your own opinion on what I'm talking about, what I'm showing you. These videos are not ours. They are videos I found on the web, and I am sharing them with you to basically, so you can create your own opinion as of to what you think they are. All right, so let's keep going.
The video to prove it.
So this is the third video. I'm going to show you 3 out of 5. This is 3 out of 5. This is another news network, Fox 5 in Virginia. And they're basically talking about a person's Bigfoot experience. So let's listen to them.
Finally, somebody, we're going to let you be the judge.
Take a look. This is the YouTube video. Can you see real closely there?
That's
It was
Bigfoot.
supposedly shot near the Did you say that's Bigfoot like
Yeah.
you've seen him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I watched those Bigfoot shows.
All right. So this is a possible Bigfoot, basically straddling a piece of downed tree. Basically, it's a tree trunk laying it into the water. I imagine this area probably floods every once in a while, and that tree just basically died and fell over. Looks like there's a lot of downed trees in this area along this bank. It's a dark, what looks like a hairy creature. It's kind of blackish, and I don't know how tall it is. It does not look very wide to me, but it could be wide. This picture was taken sideways. I mean, long ways, not landscaped, and so there's not a lot of definition to it. There you can see the water in the bottom section. You see the Bigfoot along the shore, and then you see just nothing but trees behind him or behind her. It, unfortunately, I got to call it it because I don't know if it's a male or female. I wish I could zoom in on this guy, but I can't because it's a YouTube video. And essentially, you can just see a black outline of something at certain spots. It looks shaggy. The camera does not look like it's that great of a quality of camera. Probably an older cell phone. Let's see when this says this was. We'll have to do more information on this later. But I imagine this is an older video. They're not actually showing the video. They're just showing the stills of it. Again, I will leave the link down below. You can come check this out. And maybe you want to go back and actually watch the original video. Looking to the right, it looks like there might be another figure standing in this clearing in between the trees. There's a black silhouette here, kind of similar to this. Maybe this was cut out from over here and pulled over here. It could have been photoshopped. I don't know. I can't tell you 100% yes or no. But essentially, Bigfoots do come down to creeks or rivers or lakes to eat or drink or even cool off. I would imagine they get hot just like we do, especially during the hot summer days. So this one probably came down to the creek, probably didn't see the person standing on the other side and was about to do something, or maybe they walked in on it and it looked up and stood up and started to walk away, and he got a quick picture of it or a quick video of it. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the rest of this. So let's let them finish talking, and then we'll move on to the next video.
And this was shot apparently near the Intracoastal Waterway earlier this month. Randy O'Neill says he captured the images with his cell phone while he was camping with his dad. He said he saw red eyes watching them from the woods. So he claims he fired a shotgun, heard something scream and go crashing through the trees. O'Neill says he and his father experienced a similar encounter some 25 years ago.
Okay. So like I said, this is older, but it's still, you see two different stills of the Bigfoot. One where it's kind of the legs come down and they're kind of V-shaped above the spread over this log, and the next one you kind of see it standing more upright. The legs are together. The jury's out on this one. I don't know. It looks like Bigfoot country, but who knows? Only the people that took the video know. I don't know if that's been photoshopped or what, but it's interesting. I wish there was more tone to it. You could see clear on the image of the creature. All right, so let's go to the next one. Another YouTube video. Let's play this.
Real dynamic signature.
This is on the History channel, YouTube channel. They're basically talking about a footprint at this point.
Of a consistent functional aspect of the foot.
So this is Dr. Jeff Meldrum. He's a university professor, and he's like the person you go to, and maybe Cliff Brockman, for footprints. People send him footprints all the time. He looks at them, analyzes them, and he can tell you if they're real or faked. He's just an amazing guy. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. I'd really like to. He's one of the people I'd really like to meet in this field. And just I could pick his brain for hours, and I have my own little cast that I wouldn't mind showing him and getting his take on. Anyways, let's let him talk about this cast. I mean, about this footprint.
Compelling evidence. My research emphasis is on the form and function of the human foot and its evolutionary history. If I had nothing but the footprint evidence, the casts that were recovered from this site, I would be very convinced of.
So he's talking about Northern California, and he's talking about the footprints they found up there.
The credibility of the film. The Sasquatch has retained the more primitive character.
So he's showing pictures now of the footprint from and the casting from oh god, where was this from? This is the Patty sighting, the Patterson-Gimlin film.
Of a very flexible instep, a midfoot flexibility, which.
So just to kind of cover this, if you don't know what the Patterson-Gimlin film is, do a YouTube search for it or a Google search for it. It'll come up. You kind of see it in the background. What happened was Patterson and Gimlin were basically out. They had just found some tracks, I think a day before. And so they were following the tracks. They found it to a creek area in Northern California. And they were basically on their horses when they came across what they call Patty, a female, and possibly another male up in the forest area behind them. And essentially, I guess she was kneeled down getting a drink. And then as he got off his horse, he kind of stumbles a little bit. And he shot this with I think 6 or 9 millimeter film, not video, film, like old film cameras. And he followed it for about a minute and a half as it walked away from him. He actually kind of gave chase a little bit, and you see it walk back up through the forest. This is some of the best video footage we have of Bigfoots, supposedly. There's probably other evidence out there, but those videos either haven't been seen or they've been taken down or whatever. They're just not out there for us to see.
Seen here,
So here's the Patterson-Gimlin film. He's talking about it. This is Patty here. This is the female. She kind of walks through this area and kind of walks up and looks back at him. I've had an experience like this with a Bigfoot one night. A juvenile was watching me as I walked out of Black Star Canyon. I spotlighted it with it was a 1500, 2000 lumen flashlight. So it's like a headlight. It was crystal clear. I could see it clearly. I can still describe it to this day. I can see it in my head. Anyways, I don't want to go into that. I've talked about that a million times. So she walks up the way, basically does the whole body turn, shoulder, head turn, back to look at them, and then turns back and keeps walking. And I guess whoever was Patterson or Gimlin, whoever was filming, essentially was following her, but then they saw another one, a bigger one, up in the woods watching them. I guess it's actually gets caught on camera too. I haven't seen the footage in a long time. So he basically felt threatened and stopped chasing it.
Comes up in the supporting foot. The heel moves somewhat independent.
So he's talking about the way Patty walks. How the gait is different, how the foot, he's basically a foot expert. And so he talks about how the foot walks differently than humans.
The rest of the foot. This allows for a combination of propulsion and prehension, or the grasping ability of the foot. That indicates the ability to navigate that very rugged, steep terrain that you can see surrounding this film subject.
So our feet flex down. We can cup our feet down kind of like our hands. Bigfoots, supposedly, and you guys got to take this with a grain of salt, Bigfoots can supposedly not only cup down, but they can put their toes up as well. There's been a lot of reports of people seeing them go up almost vertical hills, and they are walking across vertical hills, and there's just no way they should be able to do it. I've tried to repeat that, and I can't. There's no way. Unless my foot was like tilted like this, and I was able to go up, there's just no way. Their feet flex differently than ours. and it gives them an advantage to walk through, any kind of terrain, either up hills or down hills or across this. Like, this is a rocky structure. Supposedly there was just a flood in this area, and so that's why this Bigfoot was down there and possibly just getting a quick drink.
That's a remarkable detail that is rarely drawn attention to. This is the contrast between the Sasquatch foot and the human foot.
So that's really interesting. Okay, so that's basically, I was just talking about. If you're watching this, you can see the human foot on the right and the possible Bigfoot foot on the left. Their bone structure's similar to ours, possibly, but essentially, like I said, our foot only flexes at our toes. It does flex down a little bit. Sometimes we do lose our arch. We no, talking from experience, I'm a flat-footed person, essentially, but our feet are kind of cupped. This foot here, the possible Bigfoot, they can flex. Like I said, the middle of their foot will flex up a little bit more to give them a little bit more of a better grip, or whatever you want to call it, to let them go through terrain that we can't go through. And again, this is something I talked about before. So until we actually get a physical body that the GOV doesn't steal, and we are able to study it, we don't really know. So if you're wondering why the video is kind of moving around a little bit, squares, they've essentially stabilized this video. They've gone over this video thousands of times, if not more, analyzing it. They've tried to reproduce it. They've tried to reproduce the whole Patty walk, and they've never been able to. They've never been able to debunk this, even though there's reports that, oh, it was faked, and this is just a person in a monkey suit. There's just too many things that they can't disprove. There's muscle movement. You can see things. You can see her, bosoms. There's all kinds of things that in this. I'm not going to get into the Pass and Gimbal film. Maybe we'll talk about this on the next Bigfoot podcast. But there's a lot of things that they have not been able to debunk. And but I just find this fascinating. I find the way they walk to be fascinating because I've seen them. I've had so many encounters with Bigfoots. I've seen them day and night. I've seen them walk. I've seen their gapes. I've seen all that stuff. And so to watch this thing, it just brings back memories of my encounters.
It can sometimes cause some of the substrate, in this case, that sandbar, to be forced back up as a pressure ridge because of the arch, giving the foot a much more stable leverage. Very different adaptation for walking, but that distinctive combination of features evident in the Sasquatch foot is very elegantly adapted.
Okay, I'm gonna stop him there. So you can see Patty here. There's no, unless there's fur covering it, there's no behind crack, if you will. I'm trying to keep this as G-rated as possible because we do have younger viewers that watch and listen to our podcast. You can see the muscle in the thigh right there. You can kind of see the muscle in the buttocks. You can see the muscle right around the shoulder area on this side. And the fur, the fur just kind of shines in the light, which is interesting to me as well. You can see the creature has like no neck at all. The shoulders come up almost to where, just below where the head would sit. And it's just fascinating. I mean, this is fascinating because of all the encounters I've had. I can't even describe it. This shows almost everything I've seen. I've seen this before, and it's exciting and frustrating at the same time because I haven't had the chance to prove the same thing. I guess there's another video out there that shows a daytime walking too. I have to try and find it, but anyways,
to the habitat in which
So you can see
and that motion
when it walks, you can see the calf muscles bulge out. You can kind of see the other muscles in the body and up in the upper shoulder, lower back, and stuff like that. So anyways, I could spend all night talking about Patty and stuff like that, but this video is probably getting pretty long. This podcast is getting pretty long. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is also another YouTube channel. Again, it's 5 YouTube channels I watched. I just found on YouTube talking about Bigfoot evidence. So this is ABC News. This was Bigfoot video claims 2013 footage evidence claimed by researcher in new video is the title. Let me play this for you.
Texas Bigfoot is real, according to a group of
Okay, so this is Bigfoot in Texas. I hope you guys can hear the audio. I have it turned up really, really loud, so I'm hoping you guys will be able to hear it.
researchers. They call themselves the Sasquatch Genome Project, and they released what they say is proof. Several never before seen short video clips of the legendary and very shy cryptid.
Okay, so let's go back to that. I don't care what she has to say. Let's just watch that section one more time. So let's get past them sitting here.
Several never.
Okay. So if you're looking in the middle of the screen, if you're watching this, essentially this shows infrared camera, probably some kind of trail camera. It looks like it's pretty low to the ground. And then you can basically, it's just in the middle of the forest, but there's a clearing kind of in front of the camera. And then I don't know how far away this is. There you can just see all the trees kind of like stacked up like toothpicks. And then you see right here what looks like some kind of a figure. Now, playing devil's advocate, this could be a person easily dressed in a dark outfit, walking by at this point. Let's continue to watch this and see where this goes.
Seen short.
Okay. So again, I would love to find out how tall this tree was at this point. This does not look like a very tall person. You can see the arms swinging back and forth, which is typical of Bigfoot. You see the leg here, the head. It's not really in good focus, unfortunately. It looks like it focused on whatever, these might be tree branches or whatever are hanging down in front of it. I would imagine if this had been a clearer area, you could see this figure a little bit better. So let's keep going.
Video clips of the legendary and very shy.
So basically it walks through the back of the forest and walks out of view. It takes about 4 or 5 steps, which is cool. It probably didn't see the trail cam. One person told me that actually works for the GOV. I can't name any names. I can't give any other information because I can't. I don't want to put that person, their job or anything in jeopardy. They told me that on the cameras that they have out in the woods, that they catch things like this all the time, especially when they're not trying to film Bigfoots at all. They have trail cams that are up 15, 20 feet in the air, or they have video cameras that are 15, 20 feet in the air, kind of facing down towards the forest. If you know, a lot of the times, I don't know if you've ever seen the eagle camera where the Bigfoot basically they're filming an eagle feeding its babies and a Bigfoot walks through the picture. So yeah, I mean, they catch stuff like that all the time. Not all the time. They catch it rarely, but they don't ever share it. They don't share that footage. That was leaked. So, okay, let's keep watching this video.
Sure. The group spent 5 years and 500,000.
Okay, so here's another video. Again, very, very pixelated. Also in infrared. You see something. You see somebody. It's definitely either a person or something. Could be anything. Kind of walking away from the camera in the middle here. Now this could just be a person. What you have to remember is that at night in infrared, anything, doesn't matter what color it is, will always show a different color than it actually is. The infrared makes things look green or white or whatever. It kind of distorts the color of whatever it is. I've been out there with my black Bigfoot t-shirt on and my camo pants, and with infrared, my pants look like they're just one solid color, and my shirt, believe it or not, looks white. So I mean, it distorts that. Okay, let's keep watching the rest of this video. Okay, so this is kind of cool. I don't know where this camera was, but this actually shows what looks like the head of a Bigfoot. You can kind of see what looks like the head here, and then coming down the neck, the shoulders. But this is cool because you can see the nose, you kind of make out some eyes, and you can make out the mouth, the chin area, the upper lip area, and you can see some teeth. So let's keep watching this and let's see what happens.
Conclusion.
So this camera's bouncing around. I'm guessing it's on maybe on some kind of a tree, maybe strapped around a tree. Maybe this is a daytime trail camera. Maybe this thing just kind of walked over. I would love to see what happened before they got this, but you can kind of see to the left. Now you can kind of see kind of what looks like a face. Now, again, we had to take this with a grain of salt. This could just be somebody with, some kind of suit on, and they basically are hoaxing this. I don't know. I'm not saying they are. I don't know anything about this group. I don't know much about this video. I know about as much as you do. I'm just analyzing it from what I'm seeing.
One clip is of Sasquatch sleeping, shot during the...
Okay. So last video was pretty cool, but I can't say it is or isn't because mainly I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what the circumstances were and stuff. But you guys, like I said, you guys got to make up your own mind as to what you think these
in
are.
Kentucky back in 2005.
We've all had experiences that have changed our lives. I mean,
so looking back at this video, this again is in infrared. I don't know. I can't really see this very well. If I watch, I don't see much of anything, to be honest with you.
All had experiences that have changed our lives. I mean, literally shook the foundations of what we believe in.
Besides the video, they say they also have DNA proof of Bigfoot's existence. One of the researchers stressed that their work has been a, quote, serious study.
All right. So let me go back. All right, guys. So again, you guys have to make up your own mind as to what you think. I'm not going to repeat myself again, but you have to get out into the woods and you have to do your own research if you're interested in this. If you're in Texas, give me a call. My information is down below. My email, my phone number, my personal cell number is there. And then down below that, there's links to our website and our Facebook. You can message us on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. I try and check those as regular as possible. Unfortunately, sometimes Instagram messages take a longer time to get to. Sometimes it takes me up to a week or two to find those because I don't get notifications for them for some reason. Anyways, so yeah, go through and check those videos out. The links will be down at the very bottom of this. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're watching on our YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to us on audio podcast, thank you guys very much. If you're not, please like our video and please like our audio clip. It just helps us to continue to grow. And then please share this video or audio clip on your social media as well so other people can enjoy it, and hopefully we get some new people listening because we're just going crazy with new listeners. So again, thank you guys so much for following us and listening to us, watching our videos, and for your support, buying us a coffee and trying to help us continue to basically reach our goals of getting a new camera and documenting Bigfoot better. So a lot of expeditions coming down the way. I'll keep you guys posted. Not sure. I think, like I keep saying, it will be after February 28th, just because that's the last day of hunting season. We'll be going back out into those areas, probably beginning of March, maybe mid-March. looking for Bigfoots in different areas of Texas, and going from there. We mainly are going to be focusing on East Texas. If you'd like to come onto the show and share your Bigfoot encounter, or you just want to talk about any other encounter, let me know. We're always looking for guests. We're always looking for witnesses. If you want to report a sighting, again, there's no judgment here. Feel free to reach us through either email, cell phone. You can text us if you want. You can message us through Facebook. You can go on our website. Like it says, it's Nonstop Shopping. You can go on there and there's a contact us page on there. You can go through and submit your report there. You can be anonymous if you want. We don't care. If you'd like to come on the podcast and you don't want your information shared, we can do that. So, we just, we want to continue to bring you guys better and better content. And again, we appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for everything you do. And we'll catch you on the next one.